What's going on, guys? Welcome to this quick how-to video where I'll be showing you the latest with the FCP Icons pack. This video is going to give you a quick rundown of how the project works in order for you to get a better understanding of what you're capable of doing with it. So we'll go into the titles browser and I'll show you what we've got here. As you'll see, you've got all of the icons categorized according to their colors. So you'll see starting off with business, creative, devices, etc., etc. It goes all the way down into transport. And one of the most useful features here is, of course, the search bar. And we're going to be using the advertising icon here. But what I want to first do is actually just put down a background so that we can have a little bit of contrast and more importantly, so you can see the shadows that pops up behind it. So I'm just going to scale that up so it goes all the way. And then we go back into titles and then we can drag and drop the advertising icon in there. So the first feature you're going to notice is that you've got on-screen controls, and that's basically allows you to move the icon around as well as scale it up. And one of the first things we might want to do here is just to change the color just so we can get a better looking contrast on the outer side of the orange in the background here. And so looking at those on-screen controls, you might think it might get in the way later on if you have let's say, for example, quite a big icon on screen. You can see now this is getting in the way of the icon a bit. But the important thing is you can turn off the on-screen controls and then just manage it using the position and scale features here. But if you want those on-screen controls, they can be very useful in lining things up to where you need to be, and you can just use that. As is customary, we also have the build-in, build-out features. So you can see the animation in over here as well as the animation out when the layer is finished in the timeline over there. If you want those off, if you want it to stay on screen the whole time, just turn those checkboxes off and you'll have your icon on for the entirety of the layer being in the timeline. Next up, we've got, of course, the colors. So we've already changed the stroke color. You also have the ability to turn off the fill color. Let's make it something a little bit more obvious so you can see it standing out there. If you don't want that on, you just want the line style, you can do that as well. Now this all depends, of course, on your style that you're going for. So let's say, for example, if we want to turn the fill color off for now, we can do that. What you also might want to do is bump up the stroke width, so we can do that right over here, all depending on what you're trying to go for with your style. You also have the ability to turn it down, but we're going to keep it up for that. Now what you'll also notice is that there is a slight shadow. Now this is the shadow that is used by default, but you can also turn that off, or you can turn it into a long shadow, as you can see over there. Now this works quite well with the circle on, but we'll show you that a bit later. What I do want to show you is that you also have the ability to change the colors of the shadow. So let's say, for example, you want a more red shadow or a yellow shadow, you can do that as well. And if you want to bump that up completely, you also have the power to do that. But we're going to keep it at 25% and also just change that to a black for now. We'll actually leave it on long so that we can see it with the circle. But what we also have the power of doing is to use a gradient here from left to right. So the purple, let's turn that on, will be the left side and the blue will be the right side. So let's say, for example, we want a completely different look. We can do that as well, having the red go into a yellow, for example, or a yellowy orange over there, which looks quite nice. Again, all depends on your style. And if you want to have more of the color in there, you can actually turn the full color on. But we'll turn that off for now. Now let's turn the circle on, and we can also turn off that gradient. We want to keep it blue on blue. And again, just like the icon, you can also turn on a gradient for the circle in the background, and your colors are right over here. So you can actually change that from red and yellow to blue to green. You also have the ability to change the stroke width of that circle, and that property is right over here. So as you can see, lots of customization power at your fingertips in order for you to get exactly the style that you are looking for, and with very quick ease of use as well. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please shoot them through in the comments below. Otherwise, if you're keen to download it, you can also get the link in the description below. Cheers guys, all the best.